peace is not absence of conflict, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. When you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. I am not worried about the deficit. It is big enough to take care of itself. Inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Government exists to protect us from each other. Where government has gone beyond its limits is in deciding to protect us from ourselves. I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. Christmas can be celebrated in the schoolroom with pine trees, tinsel and reindeers, but there must be no mention of the man whose birthday is being celebrated. One wonders how a teacher would answer if a student asked why it was called Christmas. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. And how do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin. Sometimes when I'm faced with an atheist, I am tempted to invite him to the greatest gourmet dinner that one could ever serve, and when we have finished eating that magnificent dinner, to ask him if he believes there's a cook. We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. I hope we once again have reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts. Politics is not a bad profession. If you succeed, there are many rewards. If you disgrace yourself, you can always write a book. Some people spend an entire lifetime wondering if they made a difference in the world. But the Marines don't have that problem.